Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Deep Beyond number 4. And we got another white cover, or whitish cover. And to be honest, I don't like this cover. Why? Because there's not, let's say there are a couple of covers from this issue and none of them stands out or is good or something. So I just picked a random one. So I picked this and yeah, okay, let's move on. What I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, let's move on. So this is created by Mika Andolfo, David Goy, Andrea Burrocardo, and Barbara Nocenzo, issue 4. And we continue, and it seems that everything went to hell after the Y2K. So instead of, if you end, the year 2000 when the Y2K hit from 1999 to 2000, and there was a fear that the computers were not working and there's a bug and that it was world threatening, which was not threatening at all. It did nothing. It was a hoax, or it just didn't happen. But in here it happened, and the whole computer systems is blowing up to bits, and then it's gonna be everything went to hell, etc., basically. In the mid-2000s, and the world just turned to shit. So skipping a little bit, so we go back to the year, let me double check before I forget again, 2085. So we have this woman who is the trio, and the trio has escaped, and the soldiers couldn't find the trio, and he says, hey, you need to hunt the trio and bring them back, or better yet, kill them all. And then this guy comes in and says just to her, from, hey, you sending your best soldiers in, right? And she said, we have no choice. And he said, that they are never coming back. Nobody comes back from that place now that the rift is open, he says. So what does that mean? So they are on some kind of a base, like this one. So they are here, and you see a triangle here, and we see our soy boy Paul. He has been infected. He's probably going to die. He has about 12 hours, and he basically knows what to do. Well, I don't know what you're going to do because, I don't know. Just you don't tell me. Doesn't matter. So they are here on the I want to say space station, but it's an underwater lab or station, and they are going to investigate. Right? Cool. And then they found this here. And it seems that there's only one pot left, and they are just looking at it, and they said, there's something in there, Jolene says, and she said, I have no intention of being here when it gets free. Okay, hold that thought. Okay, we come back to that. So, and then this guy who I'm forgetting, probably boyfriend and girlfriend, not entirely sure anymore, because it was a long time ago that I read the other comics. So this is some kind of a shuttle, he thinks, a transportation device, but it's more like an elevator that goes to the bottom, to the chasm. And then he looks at the screen here, and he figured it out somehow that somebody used this terminal just 30 hours ago. And I wonder how that worked. I mean, okay, this is the future, right? So probably they have the technology, but if I'm, at my workstation at my office, right? And I'm going away for 2 days, and somebody else comes at my station, wants to use that, they are not going to say, hey, Meredith was here 30 hours ago. I can tell. No. So how does that work? I don't know, but he just tells us. The problem with the whole story is, and I noticed that a lot in comics today, there's a lot of, plot devices. They are just telling the thing, but not showing the thing or explaining the thing, how that all came to be. And there's a lot of things like that here in the comic that, drives the story further, but never getting explained. But you have to accept it, but this guy's telling you so. Okay. So that's a down for me. So there's a recorded message, and it seems that someone recorded it, and it's from Pam. So Pam is the sister of I believe, is it called Jolene? Am I saying that right? I believe so. I believe it's Jolene. Yeah, you and Eve. Yeah, Jolene. Okay, cool. So basically, it's recorded. Pam is infected, and she says, "Listen, I'm going to detonate this whole place." But before she's gonna die, she's trying to go to a portal because there's some kind of a how do you say, some kind of a breach there, and not sure if the breach is responsible for the shit that's happening in the world. I'm not sure because, like I said, there's no explanation. And she's being hunted by something, and she wants to go through the portal because she has just minutes left, and she wants to say goodbye to her sister, and then she's gone. Okay, so that's the short thing of it. So basically, there is a countdown going on, but at some point it feels that these people here don't feel the need to get the hell out of there. No, they're just crying and whining and talking. Well, the countdown is still going. We don't see the countdown yet. So what's gonna happen? The thing, the egg that we saw a second ago is starting to move. And we all have seen that particular movie that when you are near an egg, an alien egg or looking egg, and something is starting to hatch, you do not go near that because you never know what's coming out of it. I mean, you said it, Jolene, yourself, that you don't want to be near it. So there's a group of soldiers, that I spoke a couple of minutes ago, and they are on board, but they see life signs, and then there's another life signs coming nearer, and then gunk, they're dead, probably, or deader, or mostly dead. So, okay, here we go. So, what's his name again? I'm so sorry. I just these soy boys, man. Where is it? Frank? Paul. Paul is investigating somehow, and he finds these dead people here, and he said, "Listen, I'm not going to tell you what killed us. I don't know why you shouldn't, but it says it's big, it's not human, and there's something behind it." And Paul is looking, "Oh, I need to tell the others." But then the egg is starting to hatch, and people are still near the fucking egg. I don't get it. But then the egg is hatching, but you don't see it hatch. So what comes out of it? This guy. So there is a guy who talks English with pants on, and they are still here. And she says, "What the hell is going on?" Well, maybe you should run because, the thing's going to explode. But no, you're just standing there. And this guy said, "Hey, are you speaking my language? Would you be kind enough to help me?" And then, yeah, let's do that. Something crawls out of an egg, and then you are just besties in an instant. I mean, is he alien? Where does he come from? Is he human? Does he have diseases? I mean, this goo that he's covered up, and you're just dragging him along like, "Oh yeah, sure, man, I'm gonna help you. Why not?" So Paul is coming, and said he is coming, and then close the door, and then it seems that this guy says there is that's the elite soldier, and they are cannot be killed, and they are a real pain in the ass. And I must say, I love the design of the soldier because he's breaching through the door, and he looks like, if you remember that, Galactus has a couple of robot soldiers called the Punishers. Very small, fast, deadly, strong robots. A little bit looks like that. So the design is cool in my opinion. So they are gonna fight, and somehow Jolene says, "Hey, can you communicate with that thing?" So he tries to stall it somehow for whatever reason. I mean, he wants to kill you. Why would you do that? And then we see here the countdown, 1 second, and the whole thing is exploding. So the alarms goes off, and then Paul says, with his stupid face, Paul says, "I don't believe it, Pam. You really did it." What did she do, Paul? She just activates some charges so that you get, blown to bits to your death. So what is the part that you cannot believe it? She just put charges in there. Is that what you mean, that she did it? She blows up the part. Is that what you're proud of? Man, this dialogue, man, I just don't get it. So, okay, I'm not want to spoil everything, so I'm gonna show you one last page. So they are jumping into the diving suit or diving suits, and then and the robot is still in shambles somehow. He's repairing itself, or he's getting up soon. And then I said, "Hey, we're gonna go through the breach, so you need to follow me. It's your call. There is no way back. If you stay here, you're gonna die." So they are going, and this guy explains that he is Hermes Rockmorton, and he has come from the year, here it goes, 1947, and he's a particle physicist. He'd left in suspended animation since October 1993. And then basically he says that he's going to explain later what's going on. And then there's a portal, and they're just standing through the portal. That's basically the last page of this comic. So I got a lot of questions. Can I show the portal? No, I'm not going to show the portal. Anyway, we're just going to see what's happened next. Basically, this is what the portal looks like in issue 5, so there's not really a spoiler, and these are the alternate covers. So, okay, you have to explain to me, if you are from 1947 and you are in a suspended animation since 1999, how do you come in that pod? I mean, it's an alien pod, and in 1999 or 1997, there is no technology that puts you in that pod. There is no, there's not such a thing that exists. So, and how do you know the technology of 2085? Yes, I did it. 5. Does that mean you come out of suspended animation once in a while, learning technology? Like I said, there's no explanation at all. But hey, the writer thinks, just gobble it up, kids. Don't ask questions. I'm going to tell you, so you have to accept it. I just don't get it. And somehow he knows all these things. And I hope there's some explanation in issue 5, but, mostly it's, they are going to move to the next one, and they are hopefully forgetting what's happened in the last issue, so nobody asking questions like I do. So, yeah, I think this writer thinks the audience is stupid, and there's also those stupid plot devices that move forward. I don't like it at all. I like where it's, like I say, I like where it's going, but it needs to more fleshed out in a normal way, instead of, hey, I'm telling you this, so you need to believe it, otherwise you're stupid or something, because they are not being bothered to explain you why this guy is in a suspended animation in an alien-looking pod instead of a normal cryo pod that we see in comics or in real life since 1997 or 1999, whatever it is. So yeah, it's meh. That's what I'm saying. I want to know what's going on with after the portal and the sickness and the monsters. Looks intriguing, but it feels that the story is a little bit wishy-washy, and